It is so important that you do not let your thoughts run wild with you right now because it's coming from a place of lack. I need you to hear me out on this. This is going to be a challenge to overcome reading, but what's at the end of this challenge is beyond marvelous. All right, come hang out. This is the Daily Tarot and Oracle for March 2nd, 2022. Also being timeless. Wherever you're pulled to this in time, this might be really relevant for what's going on with you, but I want you to know that you're breaking new ground right now. And this is a general collective message. So while I'm glad that you found this, if this doesn't fit, don't force this to fit your life. You can always let this fall away. If you have questions about booking a session, see what services I provide, or what's going on with all that, there's a provided email address in the description. And well, you can reach out on there. You can find me on the social platforms. Definitely send me a DM. I did have my IG hacked recently, so I created a backup, so that should be up and running, and hopefully I get the other one back at some point. But honestly, let's move on. All right, you. If you're settled and ready to hear this, then I want you to know that it is so important that you stop trying to control a future that isn't here right now. It's so important that you see your circumstances as fated right now. This is where your luck is changing. This is also where you have to be careful with letting fear of lack or even shortcomings come into play. There's a lot of fears that are being brought around this, but also I see that there's potentially a lot of people who are feeding into those fears, who may have a decent care in this, but well, their heart's in the right place, but their action is not going to be helpful to you. So what I'm saying here is be very careful about what you allow into your environment, that you will absorb either through your ears, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, or just one of your senses. Maybe it's even your sixth sense. I know. Anyway, this is a really lucky time because I think that you're really hitting some sort of unknown resource. The never-ending story in reverse is a story that I feel like other people are telling you as if it's your own story when it's their story of experience. I do feel like it's trying to prepare you for the worst case scenario, when you have to understand immediately that you're more than capable of handling it, and that the place that you are driving yourself towards is, it's not going to be a journey that they know how to navigate. You have to think of the big picture and what you want your life to look like, what you want your relationships to look like, what this entire world for you and what you are attached to looks like. And I don't mean attachment as far as materialistic things go. Those always keep a sense of detachment. This is saying, okay, so you have to be very careful about who you allow around you, like I've already said. But when dealing with the big picture and the changes that you want to have the actual result with, I want you to go towards somebody that you admire, who is in the place that you want to be, who you would want to take advice from. This isn't going to be just anybody around you, no matter where their heart is in this, because they're not going to share the same vision. And honestly, I think that if you go towards somebody who doesn't share either the same vision or who is not in the life or the situation that you want to lead, it's going to be rather fear-based, and that's going to have you very hesitant and stuck. So you have a lot of decisions that you have to make in the coming time. So I really want you to be completely honest with yourself. This isn't about hurting people's feelings, although that might happen because a lot of people are very quick to give their advice in your life. You might hurt some feelings, but I want you to go towards the people who you can not only trust, but are living the life that you want to live. get their insights on how you can go about it in your way and make your dream the reality on here. Now, this can go for relationships, this can go for entire life directions, but the changes that you are making for yourself, to say that they are massive is an understatement. This is no small feat. So, my dear, I want to go towards, what is this? Messages from your angels. What do they want to tell you about this that they haven't already? If you don't want to hear me talk. Okay, now that you're here. It's a good time to give birth to new ideas and situations in your life. I am watching over you, guiding you, and protecting you during these changes. Isaiah is not messing around. You are making some major changes, and you don't have to worry about any sort of real bump in the road with this one. Everything has been fizzling out beforehand because you need to make these changes, and you don't need something secure to go back to. You need nothing to go back to. You have this whole future that you have to learn to embrace without any sort of net. All right. So what about, no, I don't want any more from that. Isaiah is the only thing that wanted to come out. So it's reaffirming the changes. So, okay. What about Wisdom of the Oracle wants to be told in this after Isaiah? I'm flying stuff into my face. I'm lucky that this just did not cut my eye because I felt it scrape across there. And honestly, it wouldn't be the first time I've had my eye just completely whoosh. No buenos. Between Worlds, Treasure Island, and all that glitters. Okay, be very firm about what it is that you are calling out to and that you want to experience in the now. Because whatever you are calling out to, you are getting. As I'm telling you this, I get a message from a mentor. Love it. Whatever the changes are you want to make, whatever your dreams and ambitions are, they're actually coming into play. So you can't really dip your toe in everything because you're going to have a lot of little things started and not enough of you to gather it all up. It would be you spreading yourself so thin, but you have a treasure in life. You got the treasure island, you got the in-between worlds. So this is saying, be firm about what it is that you want, but also wear it loosely, because what you are obtaining, not only will it be what you want, it'll more often than not, when you let go of the reins and you let spirit do its job, it'll be better than you imagined. So what I'm seeing here is be careful what you wish and how many wishes you have on these little tidbit parts, because it's going to come about. And are you going to overwhelm yourself? Actually, we're going to see at what you need to watch out for. Make a decision. So you need to watch out on whatever your decision is. The reading in the beginning was talking about coming from a place of lack, but also pessimism all around this. I do feel like that is an external voice that has been kind of implanted in your head, meaning that it's not your own. So feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. The intuition is not that downplaying voice in your head. It is something that is calm, that does not overwhelm. It does not jog your emotions in a negative way. It usually elicits some sense of peace or a sense of excitement. The positive energy is surround yourself with positive people and situations and avoid negativity. You don't need somebody talking you out of your dreams, your drive, or your ambition anymore. I know that they did this as a point to keep you stuck in the past or as a way to keep you safe. Maybe you even did this to yourself, but those days have to be over. So I do see a helpful person that will be coming in. Now this goes right along with these cards over here, because remember, the helpful person that was coming in is somebody who you kind of admire, look up to, who has the life that you want or who has the relationship that you want. I do see that this is going to be the influence that you have to look out for. I want you to develop some sort of a rapport back and forth with them. If it's not somebody that you can physically talk to, I still want you to develop the rapport and listen to whatever the spirit message is that comes your way when you are projecting this out into whatever the talisman is. The talisman could be an actual talisman or it could be a person, but whatever it is, you will get your response and it will be something that encourages you. So that's what you need to watch out for. So that's very positive. What are some things that you have to look forward to aside from the help from this marvelous person? You have to look forward to a loss of toxicity in your life and your heart chakra. The answer that you seek lays in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. And then we have the shield yourself. Protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisioning a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. Vacuum away fear and where is it? I have a lot of new followers on this new page and I flipping love it. What's this one? I'm so excited to build something potentially new there. That's what excites me, because even though my page was hacked, and I'm pretty sure eventually I'll get it back because I really want the pictures of loved ones and animals back. And also I want to not lose everybody's information. Well, I mean like messenger name. Anyway, let's see. What you have to look forward to is a heart healing and a lot of courage coming into place. I do see a lot of divine intervention. A lot of your hang-ups, and especially around the people that you keep around you, are really from a different lifetime ago. What I see with you is that you, even if it's still in this life, it's a whole other lifetime ago when you were a different person. Maybe you were even with a different person. So I started saying that too, didn't I? Regardless, a past life issue, it means that you are a completely different person right now with different capabilities. And what I'm seeing in this is nobody can really hold not only your past life against you, you don't get to hold your past life against yourself. I see a lot of, they're not going to let this happen. Honestly, I don't give a crap what other people think that they can do. This is for you, to you, by you. This is what you want. You have to go after this, and you will have the support in doing so. Express your divine feminine energy. Embrace its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. So we've heard intuition a few times around this reading. I want to look into it. What is the guidance of the intuition? Slowing down right now. And it's maybe seeing where you have not had the support that you need or want. And I see this as being very one-sided arguments, relationship, and business deals where you didn't get the benefit of. And I see that you're going to be cutting it away. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Your point of action is to cut away whatever was one-sided and self-serving. So let's see, a tower moment that's coming into play. I do feel like this is going to potentially involve hurt feelings. And what I'm seeing in this is the Ace of Wands in reverse is you don't have the ability to BS this anymore, to keep them around, to keep them as an influence in your life. This has been a pretty toxic, maybe even intoxicating connection in your life. This does not mean that it had to have been a romantic relationship, although that this can indicate toxic, intimate relationship, but also just a really off power dynamic. I do feel like this is somebody who made a lot of the decisions for your life, and that kept you holding on what seems to be with strings, like they were some sort of manipulative puppet master. Do I feel like it was done with malice? Not necessarily. I just see that control was their place of comfort, and that there was something about you in your previous life of this, whether it's you now or you actually in another life, there was something about the former you that was very compliant with it and that actually found a sense of security with it. But I'm not seeing this anymore. So there's going to be a major sense of ungrounded and unstable energy around you, because once you rock the boat, it starts to create a mess. So what is the guidance with you and your boat rocking ways? It's going to close off a lot of doors, and you're going to see very unfulfilling relationships that you have been juggling. And you have a ton of major decisions that you have to make. I do feel like you are changing around the people in your lives. Not that they aren't worthy people. It's just, okay, do I mean to say that? Not that they are horrible people. How's that? So take out not that they're not worthy. They're not horrible people. I don't think that they are downright monstrous. But I do feel like these are people who are going to keep you down, willingly, or maybe even subconsciously. And you are the master of self. I think that you've been through so much crap that you don't have the ability to even fool yourself in this. So it's really, it is the next step. And honestly, I feel like these people have felt this coming. I don't feel like they're going to be blindsided by it. I do feel like there has been a level of detachment from you recently that they have been experiencing. And what I see is that this is an establishment of your rebirth. And I think that you're just really working on not being so anxious filled, and that you are moving on from the karma of your life. It is not your lot to continually suffer under the reign of loss or the reign of others in your life. So I see something that is going to take a while to grow with you, but it's essential for you. And I'm being pulled to Wisdom of the Oracle, which talks about the people that you keep in your life. If they are not right for you, then they're going to continually hurt you to the point where you have no other choice but to let them go. So as painful as it is, trying to hold on to these people in your life to either keep them at peace or to keep your life with a sense of security, it is going to do nothing but hurt you. And this dynamic is going to get even worse. So let's see what wants to come out now. You're entering in a really high power time of your life. I do feel like this is what people really strive for. And I said this in the mini reads too. You have to take responsibility for your place in these relationships and what about you is so compatible or compliant with this dynamic so it never occurs again. The awareness stops the reoccurrence. And I think that that's what you are doing right now. You can't make excuses for these people anymore. And I think that you have to learn to be not only flexible, but be fluid with this adventure that you are about to embark on. So let's see what this card is. This is where I want you to actually reach out, because there is going to be a form of guilt around here. And it is going to be a constant cycle. You think that this is going to be the last rose with these people if you maintain a sense of peace, and Spirit's telling you're going to get information from whoever it is that you're getting the advice from, that why this is so necessary for you and why this needs to happen now so that you don't go back into that situation, because there's going to be promises or efforts of change, but it's going to slide right back into where it was, making you heartbroken yet again, disappointed yet again, wanting to give up yet again. So if you follow all this advice, the likely results and outcome of this situation is, I'm not being pulled to this deck, is what? All right, so Mermaids and Dolphins wants to give the final cards. Great. Now what? Oh, too many cards. We're going to take whatever flies out. The dream big, major success is underway. What's this? We have faith. So manifesting. So it's going to be a constant flow with you. And the vision that I'm getting right now is something that expands twice every single time it unfolds. And I really don't see it ending. I don't see an end of resources. It's really this, it's almost like an old computer image, like when in the late 80s, early 90s, when they started doing those graphics. This is your sense of worthiness. And I do feel like it is going to go through an expansion, and also that the time is taking off right now. So if you've definitely come across this, pay very close attention to the people that you're in contact with right now, or that you're getting in contact with, because who's reaching out to you, who's going to be a mentor towards you, is going to get you in touch with not only your worthiness, but also with the ability to acquire the dreams that were beyond your normal ambitions, that are going to set your future on this complete wildfire. This is beautiful. Okay, so not that it's going up in flames, but the passion is there. The music for manifesting, I see a whole new mindset that is coming in. You have to change the energy of the environment, yourself. But this is not changing into something that isn't you. I do feel like you are stepping into the most true version of yourself. But the outside has got to start to change to what is inside. And that's what you're seeing right now. So this, get rid of the static. This is going to be long-term. The seed's been planted. You're going to get the help. And it's going to be a really interesting time with what you learn to let go of that has been a hurdle. Oh. If you have questions about booking a session, go ahead and reach out within the provided email address, or find me on social platforms and send me a DM. This has been the Daily Tarot and Oracle, the daily insight on life and love for March 2nd, 2022, also being timeless. So again, wherever you're catching in time, let me know how this resonates with you. I do hope that this finds you well. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, and just know that you are watched out for and greatly loved and appreciated. Bye for now. Somebody is completely bored out of their mind, stagnant, not even being patient. It feels like because nothing is happening right now, that it's some sort of a failure. Spirit is telling you to be patient. I know that is one of the worst learned virtues. It is what it is. So anyway, what I'm seeing here is learning how to be patient and not be impulsive. You want to take your time with whatever this is that's building in and coming into place. You're not seeing the result right now, which is, I think, kind of freaking you out. I know that you want to shoo this along, either hurry along the situation, the relationship, the answer. You want to call people nonstop. You want to continuously message them. That's not going to work right now. And in fact, that would probably have the opposite effect. Like I told you a moment ago, patience is going to be a very difficult virtue to obtain right now. I want you to harness all the mental energy that you can and keep yourself busy at this time, because the answer is going to come to you. The thing is, part of your antsiness is that you are afraid of losing control. The fact that there is a lack of control that you could be having in here. And what I'm seeing is maybe feeling stuck, stagnant, like this is just going to be how it is. You're never going to move on to an easier setting in life, that you're always going to be caught in rocky waters. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done, but it needs to be done with your mental mind rather than your emotional mind. So that's going to actually be pushed to the wayside right now. Do your best to stay away from impulsiveness and highly agitating situations. Your patience is going to pay off. This is kind of in its last throes of waiting. You have the High Priestess. It's manifestation come to light. So whatever you've been freaking out about, antsy about, wanting to usher along, going to make its grand appearance. And in fact, it might be even better than what you had originally thought. Our limited mind can only create so much. The spiritual influence that's coming into play with this is going to be unimaginable. So don't let your anxiety get the best of you. Stay as grounded as you can. Surround yourself with grounding techniques and people. All right, my dearest, go rock this, make it yours, make this happen. Well, not impulsively. Be patient, let this come to you. There you go, that's what I want to say. All right, so what I'm looking at right here is Mermaids and Dolphins, the Oracle cards from Doreen Virtue. If I'm not mistaken, yes, Doreen Virtue. All right, so have faith, tranquility, watch your thoughts, you're being helped, blessed change. Make a decision, waves of prosperity, and alchemy. The having faith and the tranquility and the watch your thoughts, this, I kind of want to keep the, you're being helped with this. So let's dive into this bad boy right now. Hey, how's it going? Okay. There's a lot that's happening in your life right now that you cannot take a physical, mental, or emotional action towards. You actually have probably really been experiencing what seems to be a very low-key and downplayed time. So there's a lot of frustration that is building up, and there probably is feeling like a sense of laziness right now because I should be doing something. I should be doing more. I mean, what am I supposed to be doing? Nothing. My nose itches, so there's that. Watch your thoughts. You gotta get off your case about this. Chances are you have been incredibly overworked and pulling at a lot of threads in your life trying to stay afloat. You're going to stay afloat, but whatever is coming to a close in your life right now, there's really nothing that you can do about it. And I want you to know that whatever fight you've given to try and maintain it, it's great effort, but life is seriously trying to change direction for you, and Spirit is trying to help. This is an answer to whatever your prayers have been, but the thing is, you didn't really expect that to show up this way now, did you? So now, since it's not what you expected, it's like, wait, what's going on? Well, okay, blessed change, then make a decision. So the alchemy is with us. We have a major life change brings you great blessings. This is so good. Then feeling sick or stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. New abundance and exciting opportunities wash over you now. Stop. You have the Midas touch right now, and every project you begin turns to gold. So you have to be very clear about what it is that you do want. I know that you want to take some sort of an action right now, and that's not necessarily possible. So if I can give a word of advice, what this is telling you is, can you ask Spirit for clarity on exactly what and why something is happening in your life right now, and you'll get that. So you have the ability to make anything come to fruition right now, which is why it is so incredibly important for you to watch your thoughts. You don't want to wind up with a monster rather than gold. All right, it looks like adversity because, well, not everyone is going to be able to handle your honesty. Not everyone is going to want to put up with what it is that you have to say to them. And honestly, fine. Who cares at this point anymore with what you've been, not with what you've been dealing with, but the people with what you've been dealing with what you've been trying to change. You are going to have adversity with this. I really want you to create some sort of plan because I do see the odds are kind of a gamble. It is going to be a gamble. The payoff is going to be long-term. I do see that you are going to be incredibly challenging right now for whoever your adversaries, is that the word I want to say? Yeah, whoever they are in your life. I do see that there is a lot trying to talk you out of the headway that you are making. And I think that this is outside sources who seem to really care about you, but they don't have like your best interests. They just want to see things get back to whatever their sense of normalcy was. You're being seen as impulsive and unstable, wasting resources, but you're really not. It's just they don't share the same vision that you do. There's a lot of ungroundedness around here, but I really feel like this ungroundedness is stemming from what it is that you actually need to change rather than what you're changing into. So please be patient with yourself in this. I do see that there is going to be those potential moments of weakness where you're going to want to listen to those who have really been at odds with you. I want you to stay on course because your vision is not going to match, I guess, whatever their ambition is. And it's not meant to. All right, so what's the fallout of this? All right, you are not going to have any excuses. You're not going to let anything hold you back. And I think that you are going to learn to stay put. You're not going to necessarily... It's really going to be revealed who is working with you and who's working against you. And who's kind of playing both teams in here. It's grossly unfair to you, but you're going to get a very rude awakening about what your surroundings are. And I do see you changing courses for your own benefit. And I do see that you are going to move beyond and through the fear, and you're going to have the mental stamina behind it. Okay, so it seems like there's really not any more resistance left in you with whatever this fight has been. I think that you've been fighting to either stand still or to keep some sort of old ideal intact. And I think that you've had a lot of support in doing that around you because I feel like it was probably something that kept you probably sane for the time. Not that you're insane or that you're incapable of anything. It's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm seeing here is you're ready for something new. You're ready to move on. This is going to be an uphill battle. It is going to be one thing after the other. And I don't see it as a burden for you. I see it as you're done with whatever the story is that you've told yourself. You're done pretending about some sort of situation in your life. And I see that you are just really ready to move on. I see this overflow of excitement that's coming in with you. I think that this is so important that you do this for yourself without anybody else's interjection in here. I see a lot of rejection that is coming in that you aren't going to be letting other people help you along the way. Now, if it becomes too much, I really don't want you to continue to do this alone. Bless you. I'm gonna have to open the door and say bless you to him after. Okay, so then we have, it's really difficult for you to say no to people, but it's going to be super important that you assert where you want people to help and where you want them to leave you alone and on this journey, because I feel like there's a lot of potential enablers or people who just like to interject themselves into your life that are in this situation. And what I see here is that's going to do more harm than good, even if there is great intentions. There's a lot that you need to work on for yourself, in yourself with this, and nobody else can take control over that. I think that everybody is trying to not get you into a place of suffering, which I feel like you've been suffering a lot, extended period of time. And I think they want to make this transition for you as easy as possible. But again, even though it has good intentions, it's something that is potentially going to really hold you back from whatever the fulfillment of this is. So I see that you're willing to do the work. Let people be there for you when it gets too much. But I see that this has a road that you have to take on your own for your own. All right, so there's a lot of assumptions that need to be dropped right now about people and whatever the changing circumstances are in your environment. I know that it seems like bad things happen to good people, and especially in your circumstances right now. It feels like extreme loss. That's the best way I can put it right now. You may be losing a lot of friends, families, you may be losing a lover of sorts, maybe you're losing a sense of security. I want you to know that this, just because it's gone for now, doesn't mean that it's gone forever. Doesn't mean that it's not going to reconnect in your life. It doesn't mean that it's not going to come up again. It doesn't mean that you won't get a sense of yourself back. So I want you to know that whatever you feel like you are losing right now, has to step away because you, my dear, are tapping into unknown resources in yourself, and you need to do this with a lot of space and a clear head and a huge check-in, I guess, what your personal reality is, not what anyone else's is. So see where the depths of your mind go in here. I want you to take a really, it's long-standing look at yourself. It sounds so weird to say that too. I'm not trying to sound patronizing, I'm really not. Where in your life are the cracks in your foundation that you may have overlooked from eons ago? What is your responsibility to fix in that foundation? So it's majorly an introspective time, and I think this is included in whatever the sense of loss is that you have. This may be, again, anything that is a noun. You're not ready for the next step. There are no shortcuts, but again, you're not life's butt of the joke. This is absolutely necessary to get you to where you need to go. You're not ready for it right now because there's a long-standing time of reflection for you. That's going to be different for every individual out there. You can't control the circumstances. When you're holding on to everything so tight as you are, it starts to break, and I think that you've experienced enough of that in your lifetime. This is telling you to be more fluid, be more moldable. Not that you're being manipulated, but everything is going to come back in due time. The whole waiting game is where you kind of have to be kind of fluid. So even though it's a hard time, it is a beneficial time, because what's coming out of this is incredibly empowered, flexible, wise. This is for some sort of higher good, and I want you to let this happen. Okay, so this is dealing with a very intense connection in your life, relationship or otherwise. It is definitely a very deep soul contract. It says soulmate. I kind of have to go with that level of intimacy on here. I do see that there is maybe a potential of somebody recreating some pretty disastrous patterns in their life. This could be you, this could be somebody that you're dealing with. Whoever it is, they have to take responsibilities for the cycles that they do contribute to in their life. For the repeating patterns, the circumstances, I do feel like this is a point of maybe subconsciously isolating themselves. They expect people to leave, they expect to be abandoned, so therefore they're going to do it themselves. This is deep knowings in reverse. All right. They are hypersensitive right now. This could be, again, you, somebody that you're dealing with. There is a lot of hypersensitivity around this. It feels like they have somehow failed, like having their standards up against somebody else's. I really don't feel like this is authentically yours or their standards. I think that there's a lot of external voices that have been kind of it's been the narrative of their life. So what I see is not only the responsibility being taken for what this pattern has been in your life, or their life. It's a matter of recognizing the pattern, realizing that it's your responsibility or their responsibility to change. Then we have the change in direction and milk and honey. So this is a major paradigm shift where you stopped sabotaging the most important relationships in your life. Again, if it's not toxic, legal, or abusive, you got it. This is going to be taking a major change, total pivot in your life. I do feel like this is one of the most ambitious places for a relationship to be, because it has milk and honey. People yearn to be in this place, especially with a partner, where everything is in this beautiful flow. There's still a lot of work involved in it, but there's this beautiful flow, and there is a sense of having everything that you could want or need there. It's like living in a dream. So I do see addressing the problems with these very intense soulmate relationships and doing the actual healing to not repeat this pattern with them so you guys can have this beautiful future together. Beautiful.